Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Starladder Season 8, Day 12 coverage. We're here with Game 3, our second match, with the Lions coming hot off their win over the retry. Now going to try their luck against the QPad Red Pandas. Zayori joining me once again is Merlini, and we've got our draft underway with some interesting bands, and Alliance going to start us off with a first pick Bristleback.
Back, man, that hero is kind of fun to watch, I suppose. Sometimes he's boring, but a lot of times he just like has quill sprays flying around everywhere. I can't say that I'm not too excited to see him in competitive because he's cool.
That was an odd string of negatives. Can't say I'm not too excited, so you are excited to see Bristleback.
I am excited.
Okay, all right, good.
I'm trying to make it as confusing as possible.
Okay, mission accomplished. We did get to see some fun Bristleback play yesterday, though. In the final match of Navi versus TR, that was that PGG Enigma match that I mentioned in the last game, and there was a pretty damn stacked Bristleback. I think it was Funix Bristleback, and he got pretty out of control. So you definitely are right. He could be fun and exciting at certain times. That was a long lane Bristleback too, and he just snowballed out of control. We'll see how Alliance want to use him here. Veno Alchemist going to be the first two picks for QPad, so it's true. Alchemist is in full swing. Everybody's fighting over him. They can't get enough of that. Greevil's greedy bastard.
Yeah, I'm surprised he didn't get nerfed in the new version because his stun is just way too good. I think as we saw from last game, like Pycat didn't even need to skill acid spray because Alchemist's unstable concoction is just absolutely ridiculous, and you don't really need anything else. You don't need acid spray, and you also can't just disjoint the stun, which is very strange considering that in the most recent patch, like a lot of undisjointable stuff before, like Phantom Lancers, Lance, Stifling Dagger from PA, Storm's Hammer, and or Sven's Hammer, and all these things were like undisjointable, but for some reason you still can't disjoint Alchemist stun.
Yeah, you're absolutely right about that. One of many things that makes him so powerful, and as we've gone back to in many a cast here, that versatility adds to his appeal as a very early game pick. Still hard to say how QPad are going to work him into their roster. Support, safe lane farm, mid, all perfectly viable options here. Alliance going to grab themselves a Crystal Maiden. Nice staple pick. Well, we have a moment here to talk about Crystal Maiden, Merlini. What are your thoughts about that -2 intelligence change that's coming in the 6.79C? I saw some folks asking about that in chat, and I quote, "What is the point of a change so small?"
There's a lot of points in changes that small, and I think firstly is to dissuade the pick. Like a lot of times when heroes just get like really slight buffs or really slight nerfs, the competitive players are like, "Oh my gosh, is that in the world?" And then, or "Oh my gosh, this hero is so amazing now," even though it didn't really mean that much. I think sometimes it is just to bring things into focus, to be like, "Hey guys, there are other options besides Crystal Maiden, and I'm going to dissuade you guys just a little bit." But 2int is, I mean, it's not like the biggest thing in the world, especially since a lot of her spells don't really depend on intelligence. It's not like an OD or something like that. But I mean, still, 2 intelligence is pretty crucial. You also have to consider that it's actually like a double nerf because of Arcane Aura. It's based off your self mana regeneration is what her mana pool is not going to be that high too, and if she doesn't have enough mana to cast all her spells at level 6, then she's also not as potent. People used to not skill freezing field at level 6 just because it costs too much mana, and now with your int pool hurt even more, then you don't need it.
Right.
You're not going to be able to cast it. Also, you have to get arcane boots on like a lot of supports too, like Disruptor, for example, or Earthshaker. Like all these supports you need to get arcane boots on, and Crystal Beta can kind of get away with it, and that's why she can go for that early Midas. And a lot of other supports just, you must go for arcane or else you're going to be useless in team fights. So I mean, all these things combined will make her a less like first pick, but we'll see.
Yeah. A lot of sports got that treatment, and the notes for 6.79C, I saw Visage getting his movement speed lowered a little bit, and I think Venomancer are going to go down from 290 to 285, so he's going to be on Crystal Maiden level, and I think Visage going to be from 295 to 290 starting movement speed, so again, very small changes, but those little things. Movement speed may be a little bit larger than -2 int from the start, but Yeah, may see some supports get shuffled around. I think, needless to say, though, Venno, Visage, and CM are definitely the three most sought-after supports right now. But that
maybe
may
Alchemist
change.
too.
Yeah, and maybe Alchemist, yeah. Loosely say support.
Those heroes need to get out of the game, though. Oh my goodness, Visage and Venno. Ugh. Those heroes are just nightmares to play against, though.
Yeah. Yeah, that's for sure. And I thought there's another change coming up with Venno about his wards are going to have a shorter bit of vision at nighttime, I think. Right now, I didn't realize how much vision they give.
Deal.
They give a lot. It's like, I think at level 4, it's like 1,400 or something at night. It's something ridiculous. I think they're lowering it to 800.
They used to give more. They actually got nerfed in a prior patch. Both daytime and nighttime vision.
Yeah.
But yeah, those things are just way too insanely good, especially considering how often people max Plague Wards over his other 2 skills now. Right. Now that Venomous skill got nerfed and Poison Sting got buffed and Plague Wars got buffed. Now it's just like everyone goes 1 or 2 points in Gale and then max the other skills. So now, like, I don't know. I like flexibility in the heroes build, but when one skill is just like way too strong, like Plague Ward is, then it just leads to boring stuff.
Yeah. So Wisp is going to be the 3rd pick for Alliance here, which is nice and exciting. As we've been talking about, Alliance are continually shuffling their repertoire of heroes, a good way to put it. And Wisp, not one they traditionally run a lot here, at least in 6.79. And we did see it, was it 2 days ago? We saw some Alliance Wisp action, and it worked quite well. So we'll see who they want to pair him with. And oh, goody! It's going to be Dazzle, my absolute favorite hero, Merlini. We see him so seldom in the competitive scene. Oh, I'm just jiggling in my seat.
Wow, you like that hero. You must like that hero a lot.
I really like Dazzle. If you look at my Dota buff, I have like 60 games played with Dazzle, and like all the others are like 15, 20. It's the only hero I actually enjoy playing. That's not true, but I really like Dazzle. Absolute favorite.
Yeah, he's a cool hero.
He's very cool. Shallow Grave, man. I still contend that that's one of the best spells in the game and deserves more love, but
it's pretty good. It's not good versus like stuff like Venno though and Visage, who can just like chase you down with bats or like chase you down with Plague Wards and whatnot. But it's still a pretty good spell. I like it a lot. It just doesn't really seem to fit in like this sort of strategy, just because like a lot of the damage is like it's more sustained damage over burst. Like Bristleback is a lot of just sustained damage, and Dazzle just does not excel at that. But I mean, Dazzle Bristleback on the same team though with Weave is really good.
Yeah, it gets dirty quick. That's for damn sure here. So kind of curious how they're gonna lane this though. Alliance with 3 supports. Makes me wonder what they want to do here. Who are they gonna put mid? Could this be a Dazzle mid?
It could be. Dazzle mid is pretty underrated.
It absolutely is.
Most people think of Dazzle just as a hard support, but he actually really needs levels, and his spells scale really well with levels. Shadow Wave with more targets and way lower cooldown. Shallow Grave goes from 60 to 15 seconds, 15-second cooldown, and not having that stun at early levels of Poison Touch is really obnoxious.
Yeah, absolutely. He's one of those heroes that I absolutely agree. He needs experience. He needs to come online, and Shallow Grave, you also get a bit more. Other than just the cooldown, you get longer range as well, so that does help quite a bit. But the duration stays steady, so that value point is usually pretty powerful. And there it is. Ursa going to be that last pick for Alliance, obviously, to pair with that Wisp.
We might see level 1 Roche or level 1 Roche bait. There's going to be something funny going on there.
Yeah. So
Alliance likes to play it around that pit.
So it is going to be S4 on the Bristleback. So a mid Bristleback, that is going to be tittillating. I don't know that I've ever seen Bristleback take that solo mid roll. So that's pretty exciting.
He used to be really popular, like way back when Bristleback was like super overpowered. Now he's just strong.
Yeah. So and by the way, Joker is Pycat. For those of you that missed the last game, that is indeed Pycat, and he played that amazing Alchemist. And sorry, I just got a tweet Dazzle. That's just so exciting. All right, I'm ready. I'm ready to play now, Merlini. So we've got QPad here. Queen of Pain was their last pick. We didn't mention it. I was still just distracted by the Dazzle. I see chat exploding as well. That brings warmth to my heart. But good call on that level 1 Roche, my friend. You are absolutely spot on. Alliance going to go straight for it here. And EGM, well, almost taking out one more hit. And he's going to go ahead and use his healing salve. Going to be tethered up to S4. And it looks like Alliance going to be able to take him down pretty quickly. But QPanda Maybe they know some trickery is afoot. Uh-oh. They're going to move in. They're going to face check it. They've got no visual confirmation, but Lich is going to poke his head in. They see it. Roche is already dangerously low, though. Are they going to be able to finish it off? Going to get killed by the Dire, picked up by the Ursa. Not going to get sniped either way. Now EGM may be the first to fall. No, it's going to be the Quap that goes down. Wisp going to go shortly after. Still a 4 versus 4 here on the field. And they're going to continue to pursue. Blue Banana on that Alchemist. He's going to be in big trouble. Looks like it could be a 2-for-1 swing in favor of Alliance. Not over quite yet, though. Now Venomancer going to be the target. Bristleback is level 2, so he does have some snot. Going to throw one out onto RMN. And they're going to continue to pursue. Could be a 3-for-1 swing here. Down goes the Veno. Oh, no. It's kind of a disaster. S4 taking a lot of damage. He's tethered. Weaver trying to pursue. He's going to move into the trees. That'll be the end of the Bristleback. Is the fight over quite yet? Now Weaver in no man's land a little bit. Going to be stuck between the tier 1s and the tier 2s. We'll have a Shikuchi up. He's going to be able to make it out. Chaos erupting outside the Roshan pit here, Merlini. But alas, Alliance do come out the victors 3-2.
And Lich about to die too.
The Aegis on the Ursa still. Oh, they're going to grab the Lich. You're right. Wow, 4 for 2.
Lich doesn't have sacrifice. That's going to hurt him a lot. He's not going to hit level 2 time. And QPandas saw it coming. They should have smoked, I think, to get there a little bit earlier. Just because at level 1, Alliance isn't going to have that much to offer. Wisp will have Tether, which is not very strong. Bristleback will have to use all his mana going up Roshan, also not very strong. Ursa won't have any move speed, but he will have Fury Swipes, but he can't actually chase anybody down. Crystal Maiden will be useful, and Dazzle will be useful, but the other 3 will not. So if they actually catch them inside very early, then they can actually kill them. But that was kind of YOLO blink by Wagamama there.
Yeah, absolutely right. He was the first to fall as well, so that was the first blood going the way of Alliance for an even sweeter victory there. So let's talk about these lanes a little bit, as they are not the way that we had originally thought. On our Radiant side, we've got QPad, Blue Banana going to be in the bottom lane on the Alchemist. We'll have the stand-in RMN going to be on the Venomancer, headed down to the bottom as well. In the mid, that's going to be Wagamama on the Queen of Pain, and of course up top, that's going to be a stand-in Searer on the Weaver, and Durham going to be on the Lich. Now on the side of Alliance, they're going to switch things up a bit for us. A tri-lane down to the bottom, and they're going to get nice and aggressive. Ursa going to be played by the Loda. EGM going to be supporting on the Wisp. Ake going to be on that Crystal Maiden, a scary tri-lane indeed. In the mid, that is going to be the mid Dazzle, being played by Pycat, and he's going to man up against this Queen of Pain, doing quite well to start things off. And Quap, is that poison going to be enough for her to fall? I don't think so. Going to use a solve. It's going to get knocked off. It might be enough. It is! Oh, Pycat going to get that kill. Nicely played. Bit of a misplay there from Wagamama trying to stand his ground against the Dazzle. And last but not least, S4 going to be solo safe lane on that Bristleback. Oh, Merlini, talk to us about solo mid Dazzle, about Quap. This is bringing warmth to my heart. Christmas cheer is all about us here.
Yep, it's a good hero. Dazzle is definitely underrated though. People, I do highly encourage people to try him out solo mid just because he is really good, especially versus melee heroes. You go up for a creep, you eat that physical damage from that triple heal from Shadow Wave is just insane amounts of damage. But it also really helps that he did get an early, a lot of early levels from Roshan too. Now he's level 5 when Wagamama is level 3 without bottle. Now he has money for bottle, but delaying your bottle until like 2.5 minutes in as your solo mid, especially on a lane dominator like Queen of Pain, Queen of Quap. Wow,
Queen of Quap.
It's just not good for Wagamama. She's a snowball hero.
Absolutely, and Dazzle now with the level 3 Poison Touch at level 5. He is in good shape to continue to harass her out of the lane. And down bottom, that tri-lane going to be successful for some early aggression. They will take out that tier 1 tower here at about the 2-minute 45-second mark. So that bit of bonus gold going to go about the map and further Alliance's lead. Just glancing at the gold graph, already 4,500 gold ahead, 3,200 experience, compliments of that level 1 Roshan. Oh, Alliance already off to a good start. And I'm just so happy you said those things about Dazzle. I've been saying that for a long time, and no one listens to me, Merlini. But I hope we see more solo mid Dazzle. I really do. He works so well in so many situations.
His damage on his spells are also like really high. Poison Touch does 26 damage times 11. That's really insane for a level 3 spell. Not compared to like Rocket Barrage from Gyrocopter, but still very, very good considering the range on it, the low cooldown, the okay mana cost on it, and the slow that it provides, and stun.
Yeah. So how about level 6 Dazzle? Do you go with that Weave at level 6, or is that one of those kind of
S4
level 10, level 11 sort of abilities? Oh, yeah, up top, Weaver gonna fall.
Usually you do not get level 6 Weave.
Oh, Wagamama. Oh, he's gonna get Thunderclap. That's gonna be a dead Clop. Nowhere to go. Loda gonna finish him off. But yeah, level 6, I guess it's not the most common. He's not going to get it here. Going to go Shadow Wave here at 6.
Yeah, I think I personally get it after 444, so at level 13.
Okay.
Sometimes it's useful earlier. Looks like Ursa is gonna just go ahead and die, which is not so bad considering the Aegis was going to expire in 1 minute anyways. So very good use by him. I think he actually got denied by Pycat.
Mm-hmm. So he's gonna have a
you
double
can also
damage.
go get it at level 10, 11 too, for 1 point Shallow Grave. It depends on the game.
Yeah, 10, 11 is usually where I snag it. That seems to be a pretty decent time, especially now that Weave has been leveled out. That was a change in 6.79. It's 20 duration at all levels, and the armor per second scales. So that first point becomes a little bit more of a value point than it used to be, where it's before level 2 was kind of crucial to have enough duration to make it really worthwhile. So, still Alliance with a huge lead here. That net worth graph, a little bit scary. Ursa off to the races here to start things off. And whoa, down in the bottom lane, some heavy aggression as they dive that tier 2. That'll be the end of the Alchemist. Loda and EGM kind of in no man's land here. Wisp still not level 6, but they're just going to go balls deep. That'll be the end of the Venomancer. Wagamama should be able to survive this. Does have a blink up, and we'll make it to the high ground. But Loda and EGM just so aggressive here. That will be level 6 on the Wisp.
Relocate back and
yeah.
they're right outside of T3 5 minutes into the game.
Yeah, and look at this. They're going to come back. They're going to be able to catch someone. There's going to be the Concoction charged up. Nice split from EGM. Not going to catch a stun onto Loda. And they're just going to completely cut this lane. All the while in the top lane as well. Searer in a little bit of trouble. Joker and S4 going to be able to dive him. Meanwhile, back down to the bottom, Loda and EGM just in no man's land. Again, just going to be able to continue on. Lich dangerously low. Another tether going to be used. The Lich may be able to survive this one. Port coming in from Wagamama. And that will repel the forces of EGM and Loda. EGM may pay the ultimate price. Down he goes. That's what they get for that hyper-aggression. But a pretty good example of how much power Alliance have, even early on in this match.
Yeah, and he's level 6 like 5 minutes into the game. It's pretty absurd.
Yep. Absolutely. So, are there any glimmers of hope here for QPanda? Who's doing well? Their leading farmer is that Weaver at only 1.5k on the net worth.
They have a good fighting lineup. They don't have like a lineup that takes like 10 minutes to ramp up. You can just start fighting very, very early. Maybe when Queen of Pain hits level 7, but that should be very, very soon too. So they can still bring the fight to Alliance. They are far behind right now, and things are getting a little bit out of hand. But they could potentially contest the next Roshan, especially since Bristleback, actually he has his Vanguard right now. So it's going to be difficult for them to contest Roshan, but if they don't, then they're just going to keep dying, and Alliance is not going to die, and it's as simple as that. But they need a fight before next Roshan, though. If Alliance gets like this T1 tower and then goes to Roshan uncontested, QPandas is just way, way too far behind to come back.
Yep. And that's about a 7-minute Vanguard here for the Bristleback. That's certainly good news. And Loda going to go ahead and just grab himself a Force Staff right away to follow up those Phase Boots. Of course, one of the problems with Ursa is that lack of mobility. He needs to get up in your face for those Fury swipes. And, well, Force Staff, one way to do it. We see some pings coming down on the bottom lane. There's the relocate. And Blue Banana going to be under heavy assault. He will get off a pretty nice unstable concoction. Unfortunately, not going to be enough to keep him alive. And another kill. Going to go the way of Alliance. Loda now dominating on that Ursa. 4-0-4. And Dazzle, 3-0-3. Off to a pretty good start as well. Oh,
Force Staff is
back.
underrated on
Ursa. Oh, there's the Queen of Pain. Ulti will be enough to finish off the Wisp. But going to finish off the Venomancer as well. Now Loda stuck in no man's land. Some support coming his way. Ake nearby. No, might not even need it. Loda, okay, he is going to turn. Going to throw that Thunderclap. Will connect, but Weaver going to come in. And Loda just going to get out of there. It's not called Thunderclap anymore, is it?
It's Earthshock.
Earthshock. Was it always Earthshock? Or used to be Thunderclap?
Yes.
All right, that one
Thunderclap was...
looks like Thunderclap.
Brewmasters.
Oh, okay. Similar concept, though. So, Roshan...
Loda with the Force Staff sometimes better than Blink, especially when you have a lot of poison damage and just a lot of stray damage. Like, walking into Acid Spray will disable your Blink. Getting hit by a Plague Ward will disable your Blink, too. So, it also helps mitigate his mana issues, too, with that 10 int.
Yeah. Absolutely. So, second Roche going to go down here at the 8.5-minute mark. Double damage on that Ursa makes it pretty damn easy. And as you mentioned, QPandas need to fight before the next Roche. They did not make that happen. Didn't even contest. And Loda, he's just going to go ahead and grab himself a Midas here at the 9-minute mark. He's already stacked. And, yeah, why not? Just grab a Midas for good measure. In the bottom lane, Blue Banana. Yeah, they're going to peel his banana. That's the end of him.
I think if this were like a best of 3 or best of 5 or something, you probably GG out right now. Not to be fatalistic, but things are just ridiculously out of hand right now. 12,000 gold lead, 9 minutes in the game, so like even way worse than that 1K gold a minute mark. But I guess QPanda wants to save face. But to be honest, they just have not been looking good in the past few games. We've seen them play, and every time they just get like manhandled past the 10-15 minute mark, and it's not even close. They need to work out their stand-in issues. Always using a few stand-ins after the departure of Jerix just has not bode well for them in this Starladder series.
Absolutely, and in this match, is it 2 stand-ins or 3? Only 2 stand-ins, but these are 2 stand-ins we don't recognize. They're different from when we saw QPanda yesterday and the day before, so that does hurt when you don't even have consistent stand-ins. Absolutely right. And Dazzle just going to go ahead and grab a Blink Dagger, an interesting choice.
Blink in and Shadow Wave.
Yeah, Shadow Wave. That's the spirit.
I also like how Shadow Wave, it auto-heals you whenever you don't click on yourself, too. That's a really nice buff.
Yeah, absolutely. Very different from his Heroes of Newerth counterpart. Demented Shaman, much weaker than the Dazzle. Oh, Dazzle, you silly, silly goose. Wagamama, oh, he's going to blow the ultimate. Might be able to grab himself a kill on EGM, but going to cost him some of his teammates there. Venomancer going to fall to the wrath of Loda. Loda just going to hop back and get a few attacks off onto Wagamama. Lich going to throw the ulti. Will take a couple of bounces here. One more, and it would have been enough to finish off Loda, but he will survive. There's the Dazzle blink forward. Poison onto the Lich. The Dark Light going to come out as well, and poor Lichy, he's going to go down. Freezing Field to finish him off.
Sacrificed.
I'll have to try this Blink on Dazzle. I have to say, that is not a build that I've tried before, but I like it. This is pretty nice.
It's interesting.
It's interesting. That's a good word.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Weaver having a little trouble against the mighty Bristleback here. RMN comes in with a Gale. That'll keep him safe. But S4 is going to turn his back. His buddies are on the way. Oh, just Singleton buddy. That is EGM only. Going to tether up. Wagamama going to die to the Quills mixed with the Wisps. The Spirit Bomb going to be too much for him, but he is going to pay the ultimate price. Alchemist going to come in with an unstable concoction. Dazzle looking for an opening. Not going to find it, though, and he's going to be forced back.
Poor EGM always gets focused. He has 5 of the 6 deaths on Alliance, and to be honest, he has all the deaths because the only other death was... Actually, though, that denied didn't happen, so who's the other death? Looks like
Bristleback. Yeah, he got taken out in the opening, I think.
Yeah, he gets focused down all the time. He needs more HP. But yeah, Alliance full control of this game right now. Already whacking on a T2. 12 minutes in, and their lineup is definitely not geared towards pushing. Dazzle has a DD, and he can do a lot of damage. And they have so much physical damage to Shadow Wave. No weave yet up on him, but with the Nasal Goo and the heal and the Poison Touch, that's still a ton of physical damage.
Yep, absolutely right. Fast Medallion on Dazzle isn't a bad build either. Of course, he does do physical damage on the Shadow Wave and the Poison Touch. If you're, well, not familiar with Dazzle, he is all about the physical damage. One of the things that makes him such an interesting support.
Yeah, I'm not really sure why they do physical damage either.
That's a good question.
It's an interesting choice.
Yeah, it's just the way it is, man. I don't know.
Do the wave.
Do the wave.
Yeah, I like physical damage though. Physical damage is nice because BKB doesn't really help, although heroes like Lich proved to be immensely useful with their ice armor.
Yep. Yeah, that's true. Definitely a good pick against Dazzle, but yeah, not going to come into play here too much. Some initiation going to come out though. Gale going to fly. A lot of low health heroes on QPanda. Not a bad ulti from the Quap, but unfortunately not going to do too much. Oh, here we go. The Chain Frost going to bounce. That mech going to help keep him alive. Venomancer is going to fall. A lot of low health heroes here on Alliance. That'll be the end of the Ursa. Of course, he did have the Aegis. Going to pop right back up. Wisp going to fall as well. And now Wagamama in big trouble. Dazzle going to be there to finish him off. Lich going to get taken out in the fray as well. And Weaver going to fall shortly after. And we've got to be moments from a GG here. As a triple kill comes out for the mighty Bristleback. That double damage on Dazzle helping out quite a bit in that fight as well. But at this point, the sustain coming out from that Shadow Wave just so immense right now. QPad just can't handle it.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
They cannot. I also like seeing Dazzle in push threats too. I think he works really well, especially if you have a hero like OD who can keep his mana up with Essence Aura. It's pretty insane.
It's dirty, man.
Yeah, and with like Necrolite with a double heal, it's like absolutely ridiculous. That's like a 400-ish heal, or maybe a little bit more, like,
Yeah.
or a little bit less, rather, like 300, 350. That's better than a mech, and that's like every 7 seconds too. Shadow Wave really low cooldown, 6 seconds cooldown actually, and
Yeah,
Death Pulse
level
is
4.
5 seconds. So
Yeah.
you can have that much heal every few seconds. But those two heroes are pretty fragile, and they don't have the best early game.
That's for sure. So talk to me about Boots on Dazzle. Here we're going to see Arcane Boots as Ake, well, maybe in a little bit of sticky wicket here. He's going to take a concoction to the face. A Gale as well. There's the relocate, though. EGM and Loda going to come in to save him. Force staff forward. Ake still not out of the clear yet. Stuck in the poison spray. Will be able to make it out. Down goes the Alchemist, but Queen of Pain going to blink forward, and that'll finish her off. So now Durham going to be in a little bit of trouble here. Does get healed up, but nope. The relocate going to pull him back. Saved by the bell, as it may be for the Venomancer. Anyhow, Boots on Dazzle. Is it Arcane
I'd
Boots
say
every game?
You can go anything. You can go Arcane, you can go Phase, you can go Trez.
Phase
They're
is where
all
it's at.
fine.
That's what I like. Big fan.
Yeah. Don't like Tranquils though, but I don't like Tranquils on like anybody.
Yeah,
So
well,
that's a moot point.
Yeah. Oh, there's the weave from Dazzle. Now level 11, going to stand his ground. Where's that shallow grave? There it is. Pycat going to be able to go toe-to-toe with that Queen of Pain. Some support coming in. There's the Shadow Wave. And he is going to get healed up. Now Wagamama going to be in big trouble. Loda going to pursue. He doesn't have a blink. Godlike streak now for Loda. And they're going to go on Blue Banana here. Alchemist. Yeah, he's going to get melted. And look at that. Dazzle back up to full health. The power of that
This is just
shallow
out of
grave,
control.
baby. Yep. Absolutely. We're overdue for the GG at this point. Holding steady with that, and 1K per minute here, 25,000 gold, 14,000 experience lead. At only the 16-minute mark. Wait, no, we're way ahead of that. I was looking at the 25 kills. We're way ahead of 1K per minute. Oh, wow, this is just a disaster. Negative earn, not going to be enough to finish off the Veno. But the bottom tier 3 falls. Defensive Weave comes out. And this bottom lane of Rack's going to be in big trouble here, Malini.
S4 is so farmed too. I mean, it looks like Loda's doing a lot of work as well as Pycat, but S4 has been left alone for most of the game, and he is just going crazy.
Yep. Out of control roll. Unstoppable, Ownage, all very appropriate descriptors for how this game is going in favor of Alliance. Honestly, still surprised that QPad have not tapped out quite yet. There's a pipe for S4.
Necro 3 already too.
And Necro 3 on the Ursa. So just going to go straight for the tier 4s. Not going to muck around with those other lanes of racks. That's so 90s. We're living in the 2000s where you just go for the tier 4s when you're this far ahead. Oh man, what a game for Alliance.
It's nice hearing the announcer
Yeah.
say with a godlike streak over and over. That's cool.
Yeah, I mean,
get to hear that together.
that's pretty solid play-by-play for how this is going. Is that a... Wait, is that a Dagon on someone? Or is that just an explosion of damage? Now, I thought I saw a Dagon burst, but I guess not. Wishful thinking, perhaps. Oh boy, oh boy. Very successful level 1 Roshan, though. I mean, just look at the sustain from Alliance. That's what's so impressive here. I mean, they are far ahead. They've got a lot of items, but no, Dazzle! Oh, he's going to fall to the wrath of Blue Banana. Going to be an instant buyback, though.
Failure is just another kind of success. The wrong kind.
Boots of Travel going to be right-clicked by the Dazzle. Forget about those arcanes. He's back in the action, baby. This is really just turning into a WoW arena.
I'm just watching the carnage.
A 5v5 massacre back and forth. This is what Heroes of the Storm is like. No creeps, just back and forth carnage. Whoever has more sustain wins. I mean, look at Loda. He's There's the shallow grave. That'll save him. Where are the heals, though? We were going to finish him? Nope, not quite. Pipe comes out as well. Oh, man, oh, man. That gold graph. 32,000 in 18 minutes. I think this is the most one-sided match I've ever casted in competitive Dota, Merlini. I really think it is. That's just... We're about at that 2,000 gold lead per minute mark, which is kind of a new gold standard, I think. 15-0-10 Ursa. EGM. Oh, he's going to get denied by the Dazzle, but still, poor EGM. I think that's it.
It's not it yet. They're not over.
No?
QPanda can still come back.
There's still hope. Manta for the Ursa.
They might survive at their fountain. Actually, I don't know about that. I think they can go in with Weave and Shallow Grave Tank, and they can probably team wipe them at their own fountain. Haven't seen that in a while.
Yep, and looks like they may do it. S4 just needs to get in there, start spamming those quills. Shane Frost gonna take a couple of bounces. Pipe gonna absorb most of it though. Ake and Pycat just having fun, playing dodgeball with it. Dazzle! There's the weave. Oh man, the massacre just continues. Dat Dota gonna have
padding at its best.
Dat Dota gonna have fun with these stats.
Look at S4. Look how tanky he is.
Oh man. S4, you sneaky snake. We call this the low respawn strategy. Dude, they're just dancing in the well right now. It's a dance party. This is the kind of club I want to go to. Oh, Weaver is going to get a nice 1,300 gold bounty. We're going to go into first-person mode here. Can really roleplay with it. How do you feel about the new Dazzle skin? Yeah. You like the new Dazzle skin? With his big headdress?
Yeah,
I'm actually not a fan.
Okay.
I like the old one.
I think it looks better. What do you think?
I like the Mohawk. I like the old school Dazzle.
The Mohawk was cool.
Yeah. And I also don't like now I have a helmet on Dazzle where because they got rid of his hair, if you get rid of his headdress, where the Mohawk used to be, it looked cool and he's like bald in the front. Ruining my set. Not a big fan. I also have some Dazzle artwork hanging above my bed, and it's of the classic Mohawk, so now it's like this weird hipster piece. Kind of ruined it for me. But that was Game 3, guys. One of the more one-sided matches we'll see here in Starladder Season 8. 21, 1, and 12 Ursa. All started because of that level 1 Roshan, and then successful team fight following. But alas, some hope for Dazzle to become more of a prominent pick. 9, 1, and 18. Well played by Pycat once again. So stay tuned, guys. We do have plenty more Dota coming your way. 2 more matches here for Starladder Season 8, Day 12 on Beyond the Summit. I'm Zyori. With me is Merlini. Thank you so much for joining us, folks. Don't go anywhere.